Hi there, this is John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the video show. This is the video show where I like to share plenty of tips, tools and ideas in commercial real estate around the world. And when I say commercial, I mean office, industrial and retail. Now, before going further, make sure you visit our website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. Because at that website, you'll get plenty of tips, tools and ideas, just like this one, relating to commercial real estate. And this one here, I recommend you read. It relates to critical systems in commercial and retail property management. And that's all to do with vacancies. So go there, print that one off and use it. So now let's go further. In the earlier videos, I covered off on one particular topic, which was the lease expiry dates. So the categories, if you've missed out on them, are these. When I'm looking at lease expiry dates, I like to be forward-looking, forward planning, that sort of thing. So I look at the lease expiry situations by location, by tenant type. Now those two things are quite important because you might be shifting your tenancy mix. Maybe the demand from customers for certain types of tenants is shifting as well. So you assess both of those things first. Now when you do that, look out 18 months. By looking out 18 months, you can actually understand where the threats are in the coming period of time. And of course, you can do things with that. So that's the three stages you look at first, by location, by tenant types, by 18 months out. Once you've done that, then you go here. You prioritize your tenants, A, B, and C, for the threats that they propose or present to the property itself. Obviously, the A-class tenants are a real problem because you don't want to lose them. B-class, you wouldn't want to lose them as well. C, it doesn't really matter. So when you've gone through these three strategies here, you move into prioritizing, then you refer to the business plan. And as part of looking at the business plan for the property, you look at the market rent decisions you made with that particular property so that you can negotiate with the sitting tenants. It's all about tenant retention because what you're trying to do is retain the A and the B class tenants, of course. So that is what you do when you look at the lease expiry dates. You should be doing that probably monthly, but certainly quarterly if you can't get to it monthly. And that particular assessment would feature in your report to the landlord anyway. So it forms part of the end of month report to the landlord. And at the end of each quarter, you'd be making some decisions regards those upcoming vacancies. And because you're working 18 months out, it gets all quite easy when it comes to keeping control of things. Because you're making your decisions. You're asking the landlords for decisions early before the vacancies actually happen. And if you have to find new tenants, then that's fine, but you've got plenty of time to do that. So let's go from this level to the next topic, which is the tenancy mix review. Now, I've put a number of categories here, which I'll go into in great detail later, but this is a tenancy mix review. These are the strategies to bring into your tenancy mix review in your location. So first off, you've got to have a look at the merchandise groups in the property. And there will be many, and I'll put some here for you. So what have you got there? You've got the entertainment and leisure, fashion, food, general, of course, general type tenants, health and beauty, lifestyle, major stores, services. There might be some others you can add to that, or you might categorize things a bit differently in your merchandise groups. It doesn't matter, but make sure you are grouping them so you can see where the weaknesses are. And of course, where the changes need to be. So that is the tenancy mix review. So from that, what do? Let's go back and have a look. Then you look at the clusters of tenants in particular zones around the property. And you look at the critical dates relating to the leases. Now, the critical dates will be the lease expiry dates. So within the clusters, that's the corners, the ends of the property, the doorways, that sort of thing. What are the critical dates? So that's where working 18 months out is quite important. Ask some questions about expansion and contraction requirements with certain types of tenants. And remember, I did give you the A and B class tenants to think about. C, it doesn't really matter because you're going to move them on. At the end of their lease, you'll find something else to replace them. But the expansion and contraction requirements would apply to the better tenants, the A's and the B's that you want to keep. Remember what I said before, having a tenant retention plan? Well, there it is there. I'll go into that in another video in greater detail as well. So your tenant retention plan is for the A's and the B's. The C-class tenants, you'll have a strategy there to replace them when the time comes. So let's going further from expansion and contraction. What have you got then? You've got lease terms and conditions. This says that every particular lease can be different and probably will be when it comes to the terms and conditions. So you've got to know what those particular things are. And I put down some terms here for you to think about, like exclusivity, the landlord's covenants, the tenant covenants, the permitted use, that sort of thing. I'll go into those more detail later. Let's go back into the tenancy mix review, the terms and conditions. Once you've done that, you look at the property business plan again to understand what choices you've got with the guidelines you set in the business plan for the property at the beginning of the financial year. So once you've done that, what do? You start your tenant interviews. So you can talk to the tenants about what they're thinking, what they're doing, how they're trading, that sort of thing. You see, it makes logic. Like you're working through these stages here and you're getting to this point of talking to the tenants. Underpinning all of that, of course, you've got your tenant retention plan. There it is again. As part of looking at any tenancy and, of course, inspecting the property frequently, I would be looking at the tenant shop fronts to understand what's going on there, whether the presentation is good, bad, or indifferent. And if you're going to renew a lease anyway with a sitting tenant, the shop fronts should be upgraded. There should be some renovation requirements to the tenancy itself internally and externally as well. And there will be some sort of shop front upgrade guidelines that you would use as part of the overall business plan for the property. See how everything is linked? It makes sense, doesn't it? So, vacancy factors. When you look at vacancy factors in your location, for example, you've got a number of things to think about. You would look at the competing properties, of course. You look at the lease terms on offer that you can provide to tenants to keep them. You look at the current market conditions, current vacancies that you know about, and also how you need to expand, relocate, or contract certain tenants for certain reasons. And then you've got your option dates. So they are the vacancy factors I would always look at. So go back here again to the tenancy mix review. What do? All of these things. This is part of your tenancy mix review as part of your leasing strategy for your property. So let's go back one further step so you can see how this all works. What you're doing here is looking at the vacancy exposure for your property, your shopping centre. Now, what did I say? I said, look at the lease expiry dates. Here are the categories again. Then I said, do the tenancy mix review. And here are those particular categories here. Now, as part of that, I've got another special article for you to print off from the website. And here it is. So go to the website and print this one off. That's 10 ways to prevent high vacancy factors and tenant turnover in your property. And of course, this particular article is based around shopping centre leasing, which is good, which is really what I'm talking about here. So that's it. That's the article you can print off and get the good ideas to help you keep your property leased in a strategic way. And that, of course, is the shopping centre leasing plan. And there are many more things in this matrix for you to observe and work with. Given that this is very deep and very long, I'm breaking it up into different topics for you. So in closing, don't forget to visit the website, commercial-realestate-training.com. This is John Hyman. I'm signing off for now. I look forward to catching you again very soon with some more activities and ideas in commercial real estate brokerage. It's all about what you do, what you think, and how you can improve the property over time. Make no mistake, shopping centres today are a moving object. They are changing. And of course, you need to change your strategy with that. When you consider your property, the landlord that you work for, of course, their ideas of investment, there are things that you can do and shape over time. So in closing, it's John Hyman. Thank you for joining us. Of course, subscribe here today so you can get the other videos as I put them out. This is John Hyman signing off for now. I'll catch you again very soon online. Catch you soon.